Servus from the Pain Cave and welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing a full route recon for stage 6A of the Zwift Games 2026, the bonus stage. It doesn't count for GC, but this is your chance to go all in an individual time trial. We're heading to Scotland on the Epiloch, including lead in. The route is 10.9 kilometers long with 92 meters of elevation. Be properly warmed up, at least 15 to 20 minutes with a few efforts, no excuses here. If you want to see my ideal pre-race routine, including warm-up on the bike, check out the video linked in the top right or in the description. The equipment setup is pretty easy for this one. You can see the fastest TT frames and wheel sets on screen. If you have either of these, use it, else any other TT bike on level 5 will do the job as well. Alright, we roll off the ramp in the pans of the Glasgow grid circuit. For everyone new to individual time trials, I wanted to start by giving my tips. First and foremost, even if you are going to see other riders in front or behind of you, there is no draft, zero. They are solely a visual reference for you, which you should see as a motivation. Secondly, in a TT effort, you want to aim for a negative split, meaning you want to ride the second half slightly harder than the first. Try to find your rhythm, don't go too hard in the first 2 to 3 minutes. If you spike early, you will pay for it in the final third, and that's where the time is made. Ideally, build into your effort, hit your target after around 2 minutes, empty your tank in the last 3 to 4 minutes. So what's your target for a TT of around 15 minutes? Aim for around 105 to 115% of your FTP. You can find your FTP either in-game at the end screen of your ride or on zwift.com/feed. I put the link in the description. At 278 watts, for me, that will be around 310 to 320 watts or 5.1 watts per kilo. Meanwhile, we left the Glasgow grid circuit and moving towards the tower. There is a slight incline, and this brings me to another important point. Ride smart. This route is rolling, so pacing should be dynamic. Push a bit above your target power when it's uphill and a bit less when it's downhill. Therefore, I will go for a trainer difficulty of 40 to 50% just to feel the gradient change better. You gain more time per watt uphill, while as downhill speed is already high, so watts are less effective. On the flats, aim for your target power. And last but not least, steer. Cut the corners, find the shortest way. You will see later in this short TT, you can save up to 300 meters in distance. That's 2.7% of the full distance. And at an average speed of 45 kilometers per hour, that would save you 24 seconds. So let's get back to the route of the Zwift Games bonus stage. You could already see we have a rolling terrain, a few gradient changes here of around 2%, 3%. So nothing too crazy, but again, you will need to try, for example, my aimed average power will be at 5.1 watts per kilo. So at these segments, I will go for 5.5, 5.6 watts per kilo. While as when it's downhill, I will try to slow down a bit, try to recover and save my legs for especially that final 3 to 4 minutes where I will push really hard then at the end. And here on the flat parts, I will probably go a bit under my average power and just see how I feel. I mean, this is important. Always kind of listen to your body. You should be able to know what are you able to push for 15 minutes. Last week's stage with the grade was kind of a similar effort. So you can also take that as a reference and still note that before that effort, you were already pushing for 40 to 50 minutes. So take that into account as well. So here we have that short downhill segment here. It's up to -4%. So make sure to reduce a bit. And then we have the only really steep ramp here up the Tower of Scotland map. And this is where you want to really increase the pace and take all the momentum from the downhill. Get out of the saddle already a bit before you see the yellow or orange gradients and try to get the speed over the top here. And yeah, try to push here until the arch, because this is where you can still make up the time where others will probably slow down, try to recover. But here after the arch, you will have that short downhill with, -4, -5% in a second. We will see that even -10. So this is where you can really recover. You will be fast naturally and you don't need to push hard in the downhill. So that's why I will go for trainer difficulty of 50%, as I already told you, because I want to feel that gradient change here during the ride. And I want to know when I have to push a bit harder and when I can, recover a bit. Also here, just before that sprint banner, we have that short climb. And this is also important. Make sure to go a bit harder here And you can also see me here steering a lot. Always try to go for the shortest line. Always cut the corner as much as possible. You will see in a moment how much this will bring. So try to remember that before the start of the race. Write it down somewhere. Have it in your head. Like, this is the most important thing, where you can make up like really easy time on others, because probably not everyone will do that. And you really need to. You can see like I'm trying to steer here every corner and trying to get the shortest way possible. And we have another incline here with 3%. Again, try to get out of the saddle, push a bit harder than your average aim for the race or for the TT stage. And just try to see what you can push here. Listen to your body. At this point, we are 7 kilometers in. So you should be getting to these final 5 minutes. All right, now you can see the difference. Like, these guys probably went from the same start as I did, and you can see I already saved like around 150 to 200 meters to them, despite not steering from the very start. So I'm pretty sure throughout the whole stage, if you steer every corner and try to find the really shortest way possible, you will be able to save up to 300 meters in that short stage. And as I told you at the beginning, that's 2.7% of the whole distance. So that's quite significant, I would say. All right, 8 kilometers. So we are 3 kilometers away from the finish. Another short kick here with up to 3%, 4%. Nothing crazy, but again, just enough to slow you down. So make sure to put a bit more into the pedals to keep that momentum, keep that speed over these bumps, and just be fast. So ride really smart. Remember that there's always some short climbs or some bumps and some downhill sections. So yeah, you need to make the best out of it. And then we are on these final 2 kilometers. You remember that from the start, we're again here going in this beautiful section here. I love to race on Scotland. I think the routes are just amazing for racing here, and this TT I'm super excited for, because also the length is just amazing. Like, yeah, 15 minutes all out. This is absolutely crazy, and yeah, I'm very excited, very much looking forward to that. All right, so final kilometer here. Another short climb here with nothing crazy, again, 2%. And here you just need to empty your tank. This will be like the final 2 minutes, 1.5 minutes. So just go as hard as you can and make sure to get over that climb here. And then we have that finishing straight here on these final 600, 700 meters, and just leave it all out there to the finish line. Cut the corners again. Don't forget that until that final 500 meters, remember that to really save every second that you can. And then we are almost in the finish line. Do a final sprint to the line, and then you are done with this amazing route. So that's it for the recon of the TT bonus stage. If you found this helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. It really helps the channel grow. And now I'm curious, how are you planning to pace your TT? Are you going all in from the start or playing it smart? Good luck for the bonus stage, and I'll see you in the next one.
Remember to subscribe.